not bad. In fact, there were some very good things that came out of it. The Fitness Devotional series that I wrote is definitely one of them. This is the first one, The Basic Gray, Volume 1. I actually, this one started about 3 years ago, actually. I started it without even knowing that I was writing it. And I put all of these things together about this time last year for the Volume 1, the first version of Volume 1, which actually turned out to be the harder of the 3 books to write. I guess because I continued to grow spiritually, and as I went back and re-looked at Volume 1, there were some things that I needed to change. So if you got one of the earlier versions, I say keep it, because it's destined to be a classic. They will never, once I create a newer version, I'll never go back and create one of the old ones or release one of the old ones. But anyway, first of all, let me tell you what these books are not. You're not going to find a workout program in there. You're not going to find a diet program in there. There's tons of those out there, and this is not what these books are about. What these books are about is helping you to understand spiritual truths through something as finite and easy to understand as physical truths, basically fitness and working out, and bridging those two. It's been tremendously helpful for me to be able to do that, and that was my sole motive in helping other people to be able to do that. My sole motive for writing these books. Fame and fortune, I could care less. I didn't go to a big publishing company. I'm not going to do a big ad campaign. But if God leads you to these books, I know you will be blessed. Okay, so back to the books. Volume 1, there's 366 in the version that is going to be published within a couple of days. 366 individual readings. It takes you about 5 minutes to read them. The other thing that makes these books different is most of the devotionals that you read, you have this huge, it starts off with maybe one verse from the Bible, and then they have a paragraph or something for you to read of whatever they came up with. It's just the opposite with me. What you're going to have is you're going to have one little short blurb from me, some insight, and then you're going to have a list of scriptures that actually inspired that insight. So, that's Volume 1, The Basic Gray. Volume 2, The Royal Blue. This one, starting with this one, you know, when I wrote the first Volume 1, I called it Volume 1, not knowing how many I was going to write. But I did know that wasn't going to be the only one. It turns out that there's 3. Okay, and that's it. that I have figured out. Anyway, starting with Volume 2, I started writing Volume 2 just like I had done Volume 1. But I guess it was somewhere around March that I realized that editing was going to be a real problem if I didn't already write it in the format. So anyway, what I started doing was, the thing that's different about Volume 2 is the entries are not generic. For example, in this one you're going to have January 1st. In this one you'll have January 20th, 2014. So the day that I wrote it is the day that it's going to be recorded in here. Basically what that gives you is that allows you to see exactly how I progress spiritually from January to, this one goes to September, I believe it is, to September. And that's the end of Volume 3. So in Volume 2, as you can see, they're getting thicker, and my passages are getting a little bit longer, and it's going to take you longer to read than Volume 1. What else do you need to know? So volume 2 goes from January until June. You'll also have a larger section on about the offer, about me. And then you have the Evergreen, which is the volume 3, the final volume. And this one picks up where volume 2 left off. So it starts in June. It starts in July. And it ends in September. You'll also have a few extra sections that you won't find in the other few books. Don't start with this one. Don't even start with volume 2. Start with volume 1 would be my suggestion to you, and see if you think these books are going to be beneficial to you, because volume 1 is the more basic of the two, of the three, and the rest get a little more in depth. And the whole purpose of these books is spiritual growth. So it's not going to have a workout program in there for you. It's not going to have a diet plan for you. The purpose is spiritual growth. And one of the mechanisms to get you to do that is physical exercise. So if you're looking to find a physical exercise program, you do need to find a physical exercise program, and this will help you to stay motivated in order to do your physical exercise program. But the purpose of these is spiritual growth. So there are only a few more hours left of 2014. Really looking forward to the blessings for both you and me, 2015. God bless.